Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Max with BuzzTox here, and I can't believe it, we're just a week away from the premiere of Game of Thrones Season 7, and recently they just dropped the episode names and descriptions for the first 3 episodes. And I really wanted to break it down for you guys, so let's get right into it. So episode 1 is going to be called Dragonstone, and the synopsis of the episode is that Jon organizes the defense of the North, Cersei tries to even the odds, and Daenerys comes home. So now the name of the episode, Dragonstone, hits it right on the head. We're going to see Daenerys arrive at home, Dragonstone, her ancestral home. And like we've seen in the trailers, we're going to see her open the gates and see the castle. We're going to see her walk the beaches, enter the castle, and claim that it is hers by ripping down Stannis Baratheon's banners. And moving on to Jon Snow, this raises many questions. How is Jon going to organize the defense for the North? So I think with Jon, we're going to see the conference like we've seen in the trailers. A discussion between all of the Northern Lords. And they're going to talk about how to secure the North and who is going to get the titles to what lands. And I think there's going to be a conflict on what to do with the Karstark and Umber children. These family houses actually betrayed Jon in Battle of the Bastards and took Ramsay Bolton's side. So I think they're going to talk about how to unite the North. And there are many things at play that they haven't addressed yet. The Dreadfort, where the Boltons used to live. It could be vacant or it could have Bolton soldiers in it. Either way, it may have to be taken over to really unite the North and utilize everything they have before the long night comes. But then in the South, Cersei evens the odds, and I believe that she's going to do that with Euron Greyjoy. After Yara and Theon took the ships and went straight to Daenerys, Euron's only move is to approach Cersei. So that's really going to help even the odds of the war. And in the trailer, we've also seen Euron attack Yara and Theon Greyjoy. So this alliance is going to be pivotal in Cersei holding the throne for herself. But moving on to episode 2, it's actually called Stormborn. The official synopsis is that Daenerys receives an unexpected visitor, Jon faces a revolt, and Tyrion plans the conquest of Westeros. And I have no question in my mind that this visitor that Daenerys gets is Melisandre. Jon kicked her out of Winterfell at the end of season 6, and in the trailers we've seen Melisandre looking at Jon and Davos climb up the stairs to Dragonstone. And Melisandre's arrival at Dragonstone could bring the title of Stormborn. Stormborn is another title that they gave to Daenerys to kind of push her greatness. She was born during such a terrible storm, and it really speaks to her resilience and her prominence as an important figure. And Melisandre could be communicating this to Daenerys. But Stormborn could also mean many other things. Stormborn could also speak to the ship attack between Euron, Yara, and Theon Greyjoy. The ship attack takes place at night, and it could take place during a storm. And at the end of this ship battle, we know that Euron takes Yara, Ilaria, and Tyene Sand to King's Landing, and Theon is left on his own and returns to Dragonstone. Theon could symbolically be Stormborn, because he's been beaten down into a victim, and the moment his sister gets taken away from him, he has to take that leadership role. So during that storm, he is reborn as a leader. He has to change, and that could speak to Theon. But with that, Tyrion plans the conquest of Westeros, and I talked about this thoroughly in my Daenerys predictions video, so check that out. But I believe that Tyrion is going to come up with the idea to attack Casterly Rock first with Unsullied, because it's going to be pretty vacant because a lot of the Lannister soldiers are going to be holding Highgarden for resources. And Tyrion is going to tell Grey Worm about all of the plumbing systems in Casterly Rock, because he does know about them, because he did work on it in the past. He's going to make a plan for Grey Worm to go through the plumbing system and let the Unsullied through the front door. It's going to be an easy capture. But then the next part of the plan is to take Highgarden, to secure all the resources that they're shipping out to King's Landing. So they're going to have the Unsullied from the north of Casterly Rock come down and attack Highgarden from the north. And they're going to have the Dothraki attack from the south, kind of pincering the Lannisters in between both of Daenerys' forces. And I believe that that is going to be Tyrion's battle plan. But then there is Jon's revolt, and I'm not sure what this is. I'm confident that Jon leaves to Dragonstone in this episode. So it seems like Jon's going to be leaving Winterfell in a tough political climate. I believe that him and Sansa are going to feel very differently about certain issues, and they're really going to be feuding about the future of the North. But other than that, I can't really wager a guess as to what the revolt could be. But then we go to episode 3, and that episode is called The Queen's Justice. The official synopsis is that Daenerys holds court, Cersei returns a gift, and Jaime learns from his mistakes. And this episode, I believe, The Queen's Justice, is really a name that applies to both queens, Daenerys and Cersei. And it's really going to expose the difference between the characters. And I think with Daenerys, her justice is when Jon Snow and Davos arrive at Dragonstone. And Jon is going to tell her about the threat of the White Walkers. And I believe she's going to want Jon to bend the knee, but he's going to refuse. And Jon's just going to push this White Walker threat. And she's going to forgive him and want to investigate the issue further. but she's really going to want to secure her alliance with the North. But then we go to Cersei's justice, and it's completely the opposite. I think after the attack, Euron Greyjoy will lay to the Greyjoy fleet. He's going to capture Yara, Ellaria, and Tyene Sand. And I believe that her justice is going to be to lock them in dungeons and torture them. But I believe the level of torture is going to be extreme. And that refers to the gift that Cersei's going to return. And I believe that that gift is the Viper that Ellaria Sand gave her. And this Viper grasped Myrcella's necklace. So I think there are many gifts she's going to return. First of all, I think that Cersei is going to kill Tyene Sand, because she is returning the gift. She is killing her daughter as well. I believe she's going to take this Viper and hang from it a necklace or a piece of garment that Tyene Sand was wearing and have it sit in front of Ellaria for as long as she's locked in the cell. And that is a gift that I believe Cersei would give to Ellaria. Ellaria took away Cersei's daughter, so Cersei is going to take Ellaria's daughter away from her. And she's going to take something from that daughter and leave it in the jaws of the Viper so Ellaria can sit there and mourn her daughter while looking at it. But then that takes us to Jaime's mistake. And I'm confident that Jaime is in Highgarden in episode 3 to set up the battle in episode 4. And I personally believe that it could be two different mistakes. First of all, I believe it could be a strategic mistake because he attacked Highgarden and didn't leave enough soldiers at Casterly Rock. And because of that, he ends up losing Casterly Rock. But this mistake actually has more meaning. It's not the mistake that he captured Casterly Rock, it's the mistake that he freed his brother Tyrion. Because he freed Tyrion, he killed his father. Because he freed Tyrion, he's now getting Casterly Rock taken away from him, and he's getting his ass strategically handed to him by Tyrion, his younger brother, on every turn. It's the biggest mistake he ever made because he's losing this war, he's losing his family because he let his brother go, which I think is very ironic. But it could also be a mistake in relation to Cersei. Jaime has been backing Cersei, but as time has went on, he's gotten more and more bitter. He seemed pretty upset in season 6 when she claimed the throne for herself. And I believe we're going to see the whole arc of Jaime's journey when he realizes he doesn't want to follow his sister anymore. He stated that she is a hateful woman, and I think he may come to terms that he's made a mistake in loving her. However, I believe that this won't come in episode 3. I feel like this is a plot point that's going to be pushed later in the season, or possibly the next season. But that is it, everybody, for me. Please let me know what you think in the comments section down below. I got a lot more videos coming out before Game of Thrones Season 7 airs. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.